Vaguely.
Welcome, welcome,
You do not
welcome.
know who the police officer or
Oops.
detective or investigator was that you
Welcome,
spoke
welcome,
to. Is that
welcome.
right?
For those who
No, I
are
do not know.
tuning
So
in,
when
we
you're
are
probably
tuning in
confused
to
asking
the
about
Young
Detective
Thug
Quinn,
Rico
You don't know if
trial.
it was Detective Quinn you
Just
spoke to
getting
or someone else, right?
serious.
No, I
They
never
making
since
a
then. I've
lot of
been getting a lot of calls
allegations,
from
but nothing
different
seems like it's
parties. Not
sticking.
exactly sure which side of the party it is.
Okay.
And let me just
So
pause this real quick.
I've had,
The guy who's on stand right now is giving out information, but everything that he's giving out is almost it's seeming is leading to like the officers have been lying. They making up shit. They telling him what to say, what to do. Crooked cop shit that goes on. And I'm glad that it's being exposed and being brought to the light because this is the shit that we need to have exposed and people need to talk about and need to bring it to the light because this is
a few
serious.
different statements over the phone and stuff like that. They're
Okay.
probably all different.
All right.
For those tuning in, hit the
Whether or
like,
not it was
subscribe to the
Detective
channel.
Quinn,
This
you do
is
remember
Mr.
speaking
Mass
to
TV.
someone that day,
Oh,
a law
let me do
enforcement
my
officer,
intro
right?
real
Right.
quick so y'all know
And
what it
fair to
is.
say, enforcement officer, the detective on that day was that you spoke to, you gave him a statement, and then instead of keeping that statement, that law enforcement officer erased your statement that you gave initially, and
And
then
I'll
went
be in
and
and out,
recorded
but
something
yeah,
else,
I'm
right?
just
That's what
listening.
I was told. My understanding of it, yes.
Okay. Now, um, chronologically, I'm going from the beginning. You're dating Miss at that time her name was Cisnera.
Yes.
Maricela. Right? You
Hey, how's it going? Sean Cannell here from Think Media. If you want to get an unfair advantage in a very competitive YouTube landscape, I highly recommend checking out the new.
Um, could have possibly been that we were going one place and he switched it up on me.
Okay.
At that point, um, it could have been a number of things of why we were there. I didn't ask questions. Like I said, I was sitting there nodding out on the car,
Okay. Okay.
ready for him.
Go from the gas station, you end up at a house. All right.
Right.
No one forced you to the house, right? No one came and kidnapped you from the gas station and said, hey, come on over to the house, right?
No.
Y'all end up at the house because y'all are there looking to buy some drugs.
Right. True.
Y'all get to the house. Y'all are there trying to get some drugs. At some point, I heard you say you're kind of faded. You're in and out of it.
Right.
The car leaves at some point, right?
Right.
You don't know what the circumstances were under the car leaving, right?
Right.
You ask a lot of questions about the men getting in the car, the males getting in the car. You don't know who got in the car.
I do not know who got in the car. I did not see that.
Okay. So Brian is there too, Ransom, right?
Right.
Car goes at some point in your head, you're like, car ain't here. Better go find a car.
Right. I don't exactly know how long it was before the question of someone needed to borrow a car and it leaving. But I do remember it was a question, and maybe since it didn't leave right away, I didn't really think that it was going to be my car that they were taking.
Okay.
So once I noticed that it was leaving, I definitely asked Brian what was going on. He said everything was okay.
Okay. Some point you and Brian, I think, end up going down to the gas station, right?
Right.
Okay. Car's wrecked.
Car's totaled.
Okay. At some point after that, now obviously you're there and you're like, I got to tell Marcel.
That's probably possibly my main worry at that point.
Okay, because you got her car.
Right.
Her car's been wrecked.
Right.
You're on some part of town. You don't know where you at.
Right.
Okay.
She doesn't like my drug use. Not gonna like why I was there.
Okay. And at some point you end up speaking to law enforcement.
Right.
Your main concern at that point is trying to not get in trouble for being high and out driving around, right?
Right.
Being at some location trying to buy drugs, right?
True.
Being at some location taking drugs,
True.
right? You end up, in your words, lying to the police officers or whatever detective investigator was.
He was lying the whole
Basically,
time.
it
Don't
was
say it
stretching
now.
the truth and not being very truthful with my words.
Okay. I think you said you were going to tell him anything you could at that point to get out of trouble.
At that point, yeah.
All right. So whether it was, someone
And
took a
that's
car to the
crazy
gas
because
station,
all these
or
cops be
someone
needing
stole the
as
car from some
witnesses. They can put
location,
anybody on the
or
stand and
someone
claim them
took
a
the car from the
witness
house, whatever it was you
and
needed to
throw some
say,
shit on
you were
them
going
if
to tell
they
law enforcement
refuse
at
to
that point.
too.
True.
And you did.
I said what I
Right?
True.
Okay. Now, at some point, Did Maricela have to come and pick you up, or did you make it back up to where she was?
No, I think I had called her and she came pick me up in her friend's car.
Okay.
I think her friend was with her.
I want to ask you something about after you spoke to the law enforcement officers, right? By the time you get done talking to them, there's a couple things that you have done. True, you have been out buying drugs, right?
Right.
And you have given a false statement to the police that they appear to know is false, right?
True.
Okay. Were you?
Objection, Your Honor. Basis. He said that they know.
What's the basis? What's the basis?
Speculation, Your Honor.
Overruled.
At any point after, and this is September the 11th of 2013, at any point after that day or after that day, did anyone ever come back and charge you with either purchasing or attempting to purchase or purchasing drugs?
No.
Did anyone, any APD, detective, investigator, DA, anything, come back and charge you with giving a false statement to the police?
No.
Anyone ever charge you with any sort of Rico racketeering charge for any of that stuff?
No.
Basis.
Relevance.
Overruled.
Sounds like you were in a bad place back then.
Yes, sir.
Things better?
A lot, sir.
All right.
Thankfully, until this came up again.
All right. Listen, I appreciate it. That's all I got. Thank you, Judge.
Any other examination? Oh, hold on, Mr. Atkins.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You, Mr. Brown, are very eager today. All right, come on. All right, Mr. Sharp.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Just a couple questions for you. My name's Max Shard. To your recollection, when you arrived at the scene where the car was, did you observe any individuals lying on the ground? Did you see anyone who had been shot?
I did not see a person that had been shot. I'd seen a lot of blood.
You saw blood. Was that by the car?
It was by the car.
Okay. How many, you said you spoke to law enforcement. Did you understand that person to be a detective or just a police officer?
By the way they're dressed, without a badge, or maybe he had a badge, just not visible, with a suit like yours, I thought he was a detective.
So this gentleman was in a suit, and it was a male?
Yes.
Okay, and you only spoke to one police officer?
I believe there was more than one.
That you spoke to?
I believe so.
Okay. The gentleman in the suit, is that the person who erased your original statement from their recorder?
Yes.
Okay. And I know that you said that you don't recall that gentleman's name.
Right.
Okay. Do you recall what that gentleman looked like?
No.
Do you recall the race of that gentleman?
I believe he was black.
Okay. You said he was African American?
Yes.
Okay. Was there anything else you recall about the way that gentleman looked? The gentleman that erased your original statement?
Do not recollect how he looked.
Was there any other law enforcement, to your recollection, that recorded any statements?
On that day?
Yes.
No.
So it was just one?
I believe so. Unless the camera that was there before asking questions, that was part of the news, but it was briefly 2 seconds before the detective got to me and crossed me over the yellow line.
And it was the same gentleman that took your statement
Right.
that erased your original statement?
Right.
Okay. Thank you. I have nothing further.
Anybody else? Mr. Matthews.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Just one or two questions. You remember when the prosecutors asked you moments ago whether anyone in this courtroom was present when you talked to law enforcement back on that day?
Right.
You remember saying no, correct?
Right.
And has anyone in this courtroom pressured you or coerced you to get up here and testify as you have this afternoon?
No.
Okay, thank you. No further question.
Anyone else?
I think he lying.
All right, redirect.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What y'all think?
Sir, on cross-examination, you were asked that you don't know the circumstances of the car. You remember that?
The circumstances of how I left, right.
And on cross, you were asked again, you don't know who got in the car.
Right.
Remember that? And on cross, you were also asked, you don't know anything about this situation, right?
The situation, which situation?
You were asked that.
Objection, Your Honor. These are all asked and answered.
I'm gonna sustain the objection on other grounds, so it's all leading. So he's your witness on redirect.
Yes, Your Honor. When you spoke with, what exact location were you at when you spoke with Detective Quinn?
I was beside the car.
Is that the intersection of Macon Drive and Cleveland, if you know?
I do not know.
Is your birthday February 10th, 1990?
No.
What's your birthday?
February 2nd, 1990.
Did you tell Detective Quinn your birthday was February 10th, 1990?
Absolutely not.
You didn't lie about your birthday?
No, that I did not lie about.
And when he started recording, on the recording, Detective Quinn told you he just walked up, right?
No, I waved him down because he was walking around the car. There was a yellow tape all the way around it, maybe 30 feet away from it, 40 feet away from it. The whole parking lot of whatever establishment was there that it wrecked into had yellow tape all over it. I stood at the yellow tape, kind of yelled at him a couple of times. He turned around, didn't pay attention, yelled at him again, said, "That's my car." He came up and asked me the questions.
And what was the main reason that you walked up again?
Because we were trying to leave the situation and possibly find my car. I was tired of being there, not getting any weed, and my girlfriend had to be picked up soon. So I was hoping that we could do something. Sometimes maybe get to the gas station and ask for a ride from someone just to get back home or something.
And did you ever see a wrecker or a tow truck when you were talking to Detective Quinn?
No.
Did you ever hear the sound of a wrecker or a tow truck when you were talking to Detective Quinn?
No. Of an actual tow truck?
Something getting the wrecked Nissan up off the ground.
No, it was still definitely up against the building.
So your testimony today is when you were talking with Detective Quinn, there was no tow truck or wrecker moving that Nissan.
No.
Do you remember if the detective asked you who you gave the car to?
I do not recall what he was asking.
Did he ask you that?
I don't recall that.
And after he asked you that, do you recall what your answer was?
I don't recall answering that question.
You told him you didn't give your car to anyone except Brian, your friend?
I could have made that up as far as giving Brian the car. I didn't let anybody borrow the car.
I'm not asking you if what you said you made up or didn't make up. I'm just asking you what you told Detective Quinn on September 11th.
I do not recollect what I told him.
And sir, whose idea was it to borrow? Who brought it to your? Did anyone ever bring it to your attention that that car needed to be borrowed?
No, I just overheard.
Did you tell Detective Quinn how you came to know that that car needed to be borrowed?
I do not recall telling what I told him.
You didn't tell Detective Quinn that Brian told us some guy told him to borrow the car?
I do not recall that. No, that sounds a little fabricated.
Did the officer you were speaking with ever tell you to cut to the chase?
I don't believe so. I mean, he was being pretty blunt and pretty blunt with his words. He was being pretty cool. Wasn't really being too professional. Telling me that the first thing was bullshit, that we needed to get our story straight and get it right. So
you're saying that the detective realized your initial statement the car being stolen was, as you say, bullshit?
Speculation.
I sustain the objection.
Your testimony just now was that, in your impression, when the detective said, what you just told us a couple minutes ago was bullshit, what did you mean that to me when he told you that? Did you think he believed your first story?
Speculation.
Hold on. I sustain the form of the question. You can rephrase it.
Sir, when you speak with someone and they tell you that what you just told them was bullshit, how do you take that just as a person?
as a person, if I'm lying, I understand that, and I take it as I'm taking bullshit. And if I'm not lying, I say that they're full of bullshit.
And if someone tells you that, or you tell someone that, does that mean that what they just told you don't believe, or you do believe?
Possibly that I don't believe them.
Now, did you ever get lost when you and Brian arose to this house?
I felt like I was lost the whole time.
Did you know any of the street names?
No,
Did you let Brian Ransom borrow the car?
no,
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn you entrusted Brian with the car and you let him borrow the car?
he never borrowed the car. He was never in the driver's seat of the car. I don't believe I handed him the keys at all.
I'm asking you what you told the detective on September.
I do not recollect what I told the detective.
Did you hand Brian the keys to the 2004 Nissan?
No, I believe the keys were in the car.
Did you tell Detective Quinn that you gave the keys to Brian?
I sustain the question. That was Mr. Shard and Mr. Harvey, I believe. Who?
Did you ever tell Detective Quinn how short or long one of the male's hair was that entered the Nissan Altima?
No,
You never told him that?
not to my recollection.
And you testified and were asked on cross about when Brian told you it's cool. The people just took the car. You remember that?
Right, he would just tell me the situation was cool. He didn't really explain what was cool about it.
And after he told you that, how quickly was it that people got in that car?
I couldn't tell you, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
So your testimony today is Brian says it's cool, don't worry about it, and 20 or 30 minutes pass before people get in the car.
Oh, no, the car was already gone whenever he told me it was cool.
Do you recall telling Detective Quinn that Brian told you it's cool and then 4 people jumped in the car?
I do not recollect that. I did not see anybody jump in the car.
And when people got in the car and you realized the car left, was there anyone else at that house?
I believe there were still some people left there, yes. Yes, because we stayed there and we still smoked and got even higher.
What did y'all smoke?
Marijuana.
And did you ever tell Detective Quinn if you felt like Brian knew the person who just let borrow the car?
I don't know now. He don't look like all he smoke is marijuana. I'm just saying. No shade.
You felt like Brian Ransom knew the people who borrowed your girlfriend's car.
The whole time I believe that Brian knew them, yes.
And specifically the people who got in the car.
I believed he knew everybody. So not specifically, but I felt like everybody, he knew them. So obviously, yes, I believe that.
And was your car being used, was it being used as a favor?
I don't know if he actually was doing that favor for them.
Why is the questions that they asking this man so fucking dumb and stupid? Like, how does this have to do? What does this have to do?
Well, that's what I would
I'm so
assume, yes.
confused right now. I'm lost at words.
I don't know if that's what I
What?
told Detective Quinn.
Had you ever been
It's like they
around
trying so hard to find
No.
something to make it stick.
And was the gas station that you first went to, was it nearby or far away from the house?
Pretty far away, I believe. I think it was 10, 15 minutes.
You didn't tell Detective Quinn that the gas station was somewhere near?
Near enough to walk to it.
So was it far away or near?
Depends what you consider about far on walking. Maybe like 20 minutes.
And did you ever tell Detective Quinn that you never even went to a gas station?
No,
You never told Detective Quinn that?
not to my recollection. Like I said, at that point, I was telling him a lot of lies.
And when you first walked in the house, was Brian talking to anyone?
I believe he was the only one talking.
Did you see any guns in the house?
No,
Did you see any guns on anyone?
no.
What direction were the police sirens that came out of the house?
What direction?
Yeah, where were they going?
It sounded like they were going away from the house.
And was it multiple cop cars or just a couple who went by the house?
It was a few of them with their sirens on.
Did your stomach drop when you heard police sirens?
Not really.
Did you have any thought that it was related to your car that you slept?
Not at that point, no.
Did anyone at the house, when you saw the police sirens going by, did you ever tell Detective Quinn about any of their reactions to that?
No, like I said, we were getting ready to walk off, and that's whenever I heard it. I don't think I made a big deal about it. In my head, I kind of suspected maybe that something wasn't right, but everyone else just kept on their cool, just like the whole time. And I just felt like the only outcast thinking too much.
You didn't tell Detective Quinn that the guys who were there did not say nothing, they just had this look in their eyes?
No,
You never told Detective Quinn that?
I don't recall telling him that, and if I did, that's not really true. I don't
Did
remember.
anybody roll by that wasn't a cop, honk their horn, or do anything like that when you were at the house?
No.
You didn't tell Detective Quinn that guys rolled by, said, "What the fuck happened?" and started honking?
I don't believe so.
It sound like Detective Quinn made up some shit. If you ask me, because he don't recall nothing that he said in that paperwork. I'm just saying.
I don't believe I remember anybody at the house at that point doing any kind of calling to anybody.
Did anybody at the house speak with you, or did anybody at the house after the police sirens were rolling by make any reference to the people who just left it?
Objection, hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection.
Without saying what they said, did you ever tell Detective Quinn that anyone in that house said anything within earshot of you in relation to the 4 people who just got into your car and took off?
I don't remember. No.
How did you get to the car?
Walking.
How did you know where to go?
I believe at this time I'm still following Brian. He's the one with the GPS, and I'm just floating around.
After your car was borrowed, how did you know to go find the 2004?
I was tired of waiting.
How did you know where to find it?
It was just the nearest gas station, and we didn't know where to find it. We just wanted to get to a gas station so we can call someone to pick us up or something. We ended up at the gas station where there was yellow tape.
When you talked to Detective Quinn a couple hours after this, you didn't tell him the only way they went to the gas station? Your Honor, if I can.
Hold on. Facts, not evidence?
Yes, sir.
I'll sustain the question as to form. You can go ahead and rephrase.
Yes, Your Honor. Did you talk to Detective Quinn the same day that your car was borrowed?
I talked to a detective, yes.
And was that days or hours later from when the car first left the house? And how long was it?
It was hours.
It was a couple hours?
I believe it was a couple hours.
So it wasn't all that long?
No, but my recollection of time is pretty phased out.
So is it fair to say that you talked to Detective Quinn with what you just testified to a couple hours after the car was taken? Is that fair?
Yes, I could be wrong. It could have been 4 or 5 hours.
In general, a couple hours is fair to characterize?
A few hours, yes.
So a few hours after your car was taken and borrowed, do you recall telling Detective Quinn that you were walking, the only way you could find it was to follow the cop lights? Did you tell Detective Quinn that?
No, that was just, I don't recollect telling him that, no.
Did you ever tell Detective Quinn about if you wanted Brian to get into trouble?
No.
You didn't tell Detective Quinn that you didn't want your buddy to get in trouble?
At that point, I didn't want me or him to get in trouble because we were there purchasing weed, and I thought that's what the main problem was.
Did you tell Detective Quinn that?
I don't believe I told him that. I don't recollect what I told him.
At the very end, when you were speaking with the detective, do you recall what you told him?
No, I think at this point I had told 3 different stories.
Did you tell Detective Quinn that this interview is the absolute truth?
Don't exactly remember that being said.
Have you been following this case since you were subpoenaed to testify?
No.
How did you feel when you got subpoenaed?
I felt like it was a jury duty thing. I didn't pay much attention to it. My involvement in this was very small. I thought it could just blow over. And no, I kept getting bothered. My mom kept getting bothered.
This is going to be the year. The year you become the you you're supposed to be. The year you conquer it all with a get it girl confidence and a can't stop but. You'll start a 7-step skin regimen, take up a new hobby. You read a book every month, do yoga every day, eat perfectly, dream journal, redo your entire...
This year, stop with the must-dos and should-bes. Give yourself more kindness, more grace, and the chance to pee in peace. The Honest Company. You got this. We got you.
I've been through a lot, and I feel like this was way in the past, and didn't really feel like bringing up this story to any one of my family members. Ever since they have found out that I am the one with the Rico charge. So it is very, it's sad, to say the least.
Did you ever, were you ever offered to have anyone from the DA's office come meet with you and talk about that day?
I don't exactly know who has been calling and wanting to meet, but there's been very many people, I believe, calling to want to meet for testimonies.
Why did you not let them come meet you and talk about it?
Because I thought my part in this was very irrelevant.
Did they ever ask you if they could meet on Zoom?
Don't recall that.
Did they ever ask you if they could meet on Microsoft Teams?
Don't remember that. I don't even know what those are.
Did they ever ask you to speak over the phone?
I have spoken over the phone.
Did they ever ask you to talk about what you remember from that day over the phone?
Several times.
Did you only want to speak on the day of your testimony?
I felt like it wasn't necessary. I didn't, honestly, to this day, didn't think I needed to speak ever.
Did you ever say if you got an email, did you have to read it?
I don't read emails. That's just...
Did you ever get the marijuana that you went to that house to buy?
No.
Thank you, sir. No further questions, Your Honor.
Redirect, Mr. Adams. Or recross, I should say. I apologize.
Sir, let me ask you just a couple questions. When you were talking to the law enforcement officers or the detectives, right, on that day, isn't it true that they told you, or they were telling you things that they thought they knew? Does that sound about right?
Don't exactly recall them knowing what was going on. They did explain to me afterwards. I asked what happened in my car, and they briefly explained what happened.
So they told you, they gave you information.
Basically, yes.
In addition to asking you questions, they're telling you stuff as well, right?
Right.
All right. You were subpoenaed to come here today, weren't you?
Right.
Okay. What time did you get here?
I got here at around 11.
11 o'clock. All right. You were subpoenaed, as you understand it, by the district attorney's office, right?
Right.
Okay. From the time that you got here, did anyone offer to take you upstairs and let you look at your statement, your old statement, or any recordings or anything that you had given from back in 2013?
The question was, has anybody...
Yeah. Did anyone from the DA's office say, hey, you're here, come upstairs and talk to us, and we'll tell you what we're going to ask you?
Just a second ago, I talked to these two people.
A second ago?
Yeah, just right before I walked in.
Right before they brought you in?
Yes.
Okay. Over the course of
that don't add up.
anyone ever, I mean, you live somewhere, you have a home, right?
Now I live with my girlfriend, yes.
Okay. Anytime over the course of the past few months, anyone come to your house to attempt to interview you there at your house?
Not personally in my house. They have came to my mom's. They have came, they've called my brother.
Sounds like he may have been paid off.
But I think that was what they said they would do.
Okay. All right. The DA asked you a question a little while ago, right, about whether at the end of your statement interview you said something to the detective or investigator, whoever it was, about whether everything you said is the absolute truth or something like that, right?
Right.
Your response, if I heard you correctly, was if you did say that, it wasn't true, right?
Right.
You told, I think in your words, at least 3 different stories about what happened that day.
Yes.
It was clear that a lot of things that you told the detective, a lot of things that the DA was asking you about, whether you said to the detective, just wasn't true, right?
Right.
Okay. You don't have any idea what happened with the car once it left your presence until you saw it again. You don't know what happened, right?
I have no idea.
You're not able to tell this jury from any personal knowledge that, hey, this person got in the car, or that person got in the car, or the car went here, or what happened. You don't know anything about that.
No, it was just all what I was being told.
Yeah. You had the car, and then at some point later on, you saw the car was wrecked, right?
Right.
All right. That's all I got. Thanks, sir.
Mr. Short, anything?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Matthews?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Atkins?
No, Your Honor, and this witness can be permanently excused.
All right. Okay, Mr. Nava Flores, we're going to permanently excuse you as a witness. You're free to go about your usual duties and avocation. Just don't discuss your testimony to anybody except the attorneys in this case, okay?
Got it.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for your patience with us. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, given the hour and given what counsel have indicated to me, this might be a natural stopping point for us for the day. So let me go ahead and just kind of just recap where we are. So tomorrow, what time are you supposed to be here? 12:30. Okay. And we're
No
gonna
damn
work
well.
with
Y'all ain't getting nowhere. Don't lie.
Then the next time we'll be here will be Monday morning.
Talking about let's just recap where we are. Y'all ain't getting nowhere.
The 26th, and if I could have you all
That
here
judge
for
milking on
10:30,
money.
okay?
Look at him.
We'll anticipate 11
No
o'clock
wonder he
start time.
talking so smooth. Them
All right, we'll
paychecks
probably
gonna
work
be
till
big as hell coming for him.
sometime
Look
up
at
in the
him.
afternoon. All right.
Y'all know I ain't lying.
And then I'll kind of give you the breakdown of the days after that. We're still going to be
Talking about we gonna
down,
see
as I
how far
mentioned, for
we got.
administrative days
Oh
from the
damn
5th
well
to
y'all
the
ain't getting
12th
nowhere.
of March. Okay. All right. What are your ministerial inquiries of me, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, bless you. Anyone?
The day of the 27th.
Say again?
The day of February 27th, is that a full day?
That's Tuesday.
Right.
That may be a partial day. Okay. And I'm thinking about that we work during the morning because the court has some unrelated business related.
What vacations
to
you
issues
got
of
going
GVO
on,
that I may have to
Judge?
take up in the afternoon. So
Mm-hmm.
looking at my calendar, that would be a reasonable hypothesis. We go.
Man, y'all better.
Couple 3 hours in the morning. Okay. On 27th. Anybody else have any other questions? Anyone?
Young Thug, they
Okay,
finna
let's
make you
review
sit,
again.
bruh. Till that time run out, till them fees run
The
out, they
notepads
finna
in the
take your
basket,
ass
take a
trial after
sticker.
trial after trial. This YSL shit
Please
ain't
do
gonna be
not
done no
discuss
time soon.
anything that we have talked about or you've heard in open court.
Nope.
Because of course you have not been given the instructions by the court, so it would be error for you to, or for it be a violation of this
No
court's
time
obligation for you
soon.
to go ahead
They
and
want
do
Jeffrey head on a
that.
stick.
Do not discuss the matter
Yes, they
as
do.
you're going to wherever it is and how you're traveling to and from the courthouse. Don't talk to it about the case with your relatives, friends, and well wishers. Do not go on any third party sites or listen to any news accounts or any other reviews of this particular case as it's going on. Because remember, what I
Like
told
they
you,
not
you can't
gonna do
consider
that.
those sources. You can only consider what's being presented in this courtroom. If anybody should try and talk with you, reach out to
Alrighty,
you.
that's all we gonna do on that one.
Otherwise, contact you.
As y'all can clearly see, this case ain't over. And they ain't really got shit. From what we just heard, it seems like everything that this man was saying, or that the prosecutor was saying, that the officer said, he didn't say. He kept recanting. No, I do not recall saying that. No, I do not recall saying that. So basically, that's falsified evidence. Is that falsified statement? Did the officer make him say that? Did he tell him to say that, or did he write that down? Because now we're seeing a personal agenda going towards it. No face, no case. And if it don't stick, it ain't gonna hit. So that means they ain't got to commit. I said what I said, and y'all know I ain't lying. Well, y'all drop in the comments what y'all think about this case, this whole trial, YSL. Will young Thugger see the light of daylight, or will they keep this trial going for as long as they can? We got Fannie Williams already being grilled. She don't even Fannie Willis, whatever her name is, already being grilled. She don't even know what's going on. All because Trump exposed her. Now all the doors have opened. We got Nature Boy. I might recover that. I don't know if I'm gonna cover that, but I might. I'm not gonna say I'm not, but I might. There's a lot of shit going on right now. Who else will be coming to a stand near you? Anywho, like this video, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also hit the bell so you get notified whenever I drop a video. Mr. Mass, until the next